people really know what borders are all about. Do they know? Their cousins are married here. Their relatives like South and North Korea. When you see people in South Korea throwing food across, they are throwing it what used to be like Naguru and Korea. Yes, just because that the borders were decided. So then the next question is, if I am sick, I think the most important thing is where I get it. It's not my geographical or nation description that matters. It is where, if I'm a Sudanese and I am sick, do I have to go to my own country? When the Ugandans are sick, they go to India, isn't it? So if I have a neighborhood where I have suspicion that there are better medical facilities, where would I go? Then the next question is, can you tell who is the Sudanese and who is the Ugandan if they all speak the same language? Can you tell who is the Congolese and who is not if they speak the same language? And we are aware that we had a vice president in Kenya and a minister in Uganda who are actually brothers. Because these are facts we can only live with. We can, but then said and done, how much control do we have over these problems? Now, there is also financial survival pressure. There are some of these people out of these COVID issues who are so much more concerned about financial survival than about even their health. I remember when I addressed MTV, who cheated most of the Chikuru was full, packed, and running. The circumstances of Chikuru, I'm struggling with you here to do social distancing. How can you do social distancing in Chikuru? That's why I was even saying that maybe we should open centers in different corners of the road that enter Kampala, that we may then be able to manage these, transactions and the processes of trade in those areas. But even then, how long does it take? Then there is also, if this country had an emergency, as is likely to be the case, because now World Health Organization is telling us categorically that we are waiting for now the most difficult phase, which other people have entered in. How prepared are we? And if this comes in between an election, what happens? We shall have purchased things, we shall have procured using public funds, individuals will have invested their money in an election, we shall all have done preparation. If there is need, for example, to do another lockdown, how do we relate it to this pressure of rushing for an election? How are you going to, interface them? That's also another important question. Then there is also that the elections in their own nature, as at before. For example, in the last election, for example, you know very well that the electoral material reached to Wakiso here, 4 o'clock. Now, if there is social distancing, if there are all these many now encumbrances, including the curfew, which eats of 3 hours of our day, because you are rushing to catch up with the traffic. Now, if there is now delivering all these materials to different centers, how are you going to do it? How easy will it be? I have not seen an amendment in the law that provides that we shall vote for 3 days. I have not heard about that. But if in normal circumstances we are finding it difficult to deliver these materials on time, what happens? Let me give you a joke, and you don't want to take it too far. It's a joke. You know, Electoral Commission will be working very close together. Don't you know that? Like you are here now. They'll be running around. What if we get a case of the chairman of the Electoral Commission? This is a joke. And others getting the COVID-19. What happens? You know how long it takes to actually recoup an electoral commission, and maybe you will have disbanded parliament. How do you get an emergency bill? For example, the Prime Minister of Uganda, I don't know what the results are with the self-isolation. I am very happy that he was honest enough to say, let me take side until I'm sure. Now, if the chairman of the Electoral Commission suspected COVID and took side, and maybe some silly elements of it, does the Electoral Commission remain the same or not? If it is not the same, what to do about it? Are you going to reconstitute the Electoral Commission? You know the processes of reconstituting the Electoral Commission. Why the hype? Why are you rushing? Yeah, I'm taking you to the nitty-gritty so that you can really get to understand some of these things very well. Let me also say that, for example, you have to amend the law, you have to constitute the Electoral Commission, and then what happened? How long will this take? How long will the process take? Let's look into this thing, and then the important question: are we in a position to conduct an election? And in any case, it is the most important thing we must do. Yes, there is also, for example, uh, you are saying that we are going to compete for your airwaves. And I saw the Minister of ICT proudly talking about 309 radio. We thank God for that. Uganda is so good. But I want to ask you some fundamental questions. Who owns these media outlets? They belong to the. And in any case, can I also ask technical question? Who will tell you that what belongs to the government of Uganda belongs to the Independent Electoral Commission? Who appoints the board of governors of UBC? Is it 10 of you? They are appointed by the Minister of ICT. But if the rules apply that he who calls the piper calls the tune, what happens? In short, I'm saying, let's be more precision. The Independent Electoral Commission does not have all the power about you. They don't. Anyway, let's even say that, for example, I had Mr. Ofono Kondo say enacting of Lombard into the TV and started recent people don't even work there because has got editorial policy. It's got, even if it was to pay, if got the electoral, sorry, if a commission was to pay, who has paid and how does it give you any special authority? Let's assume they pay. And then who controls the program? Yourself. Are your editor, are your board members know everything you do? Don't you have personal interest? Usual fighters in this and now I'm sure compromised by the factory, the houses, and therefore may uproot some of you. So we have lost a great fighting force. The revolutionary force of now fairly, I'm sure, divided in this opinion. And one of the points I'm sure they must be saying, if this money comes to us, some will trickle to me. Anyway, in any case, that was not the case. What if there is an arrangement between an editor? We are not about it, between an editor and some political group who have what happened. And okay, let's say even you force me, because UCC has some power, you force me and say, Tumukunde must come. I say, thank you very much, Mr. Tumukunde, welcome. The only time available is midnight, when everybody has slept. What are you going to do about it? So if you become more forceful, for example, I will say the machines are not working. I call the engineer and say, how is the process of those machines working? The man will keep saying, we have failed to repair, we have failed to. And in any case, with these volumes of, I'm told yesterday, Wongshana added himself on the list of presidential candidates. So when I went to electoral commission, they told me they were 22. So I hope now they are 23. Okay, divide them time. In this short span of time, and you know very well we are on a campaign. Even time has been reduced. It used to be the paradox is, when we can't campaign as smooth as we did, that is even when time is reduced. How are you going to distribute all these people out of these media houses? How about your coverages? Are you sure you do national coverage? You don't. Most of you cover regional or sometimes tribal linguistic zoning. Yes, that's also true. You know these radios and you know the influence. Of course, I should also tell you that most of these radios are owned by politicians. I can use these as an example. One is owned by Mr. Walieko, another one is owned by Honorable Walieko, another one is owned by Honorable Naduta, another one is owned by Honorable Will. Now, assuming these are my friends, assuming critical times come and they say don't allow an opposed man NRM to speak on your radio, what more powers do you have over them? Who are you? So let's get down clearly. Look at this nitty-gritty. So we have like 10,000 candidates. If you allow electoral commission, I mean, if you allow MCs and others, how are you going to split them? And how are you going to make sure that each of them is truly, you know, accessing these people? That is to start with, if you can. Because this is a private ownership. This is my shot. You can't come and tell me where it's upside down. I will say, no, it's mine. Not the rule. That's how I want to place it. Now, there is also who determines how much time you allocate. And then we've got so many languages in Uganda. If in every case I've got to have a translator, what happened? Even the little time that has been given to me when I'm in a, Sebei sub area, I have to get translator. So the little time I have has got to be divided between and the translator. I hope this translator will be understanding English very well. Because you do not have the opportunity of choosing them on ground using your supporter. Have you ever heard about the joke of Uganda was starting, Muzungu was starting to preach here some Christianity? And he said, who knows? And the Muganda translator said, Enyindo zani banayi. God knows. Enyindo za Katonda. The deaf and hearing impaired. The man was dancing like this. Zuma said, chapter he was translating. What happens? These people are the ones who say, this man, what he's speaking, we don't understand. Imagine including the body of Mandela. So even for me, when I see this, I imagine that this is the thing. Because I don't know the language, it's a language. So assuming you have translators and you are sharing time, I'm taking you deep into this, that beyond here, we may have, time to look. I want Uganda wants to take this matter. This is here because there was a mismanagement. May have been used as an excuse, as some people say, but it is because there was a mismanaged election. So the next question is, do we want to repeat this? Do we want to repeat this? Both our neighborhoods here in the East African community, kind of places where there are so many things about why one leader could have died and all. And you see, the whole essence is that when people are competing for vote, people struggling. If your candidate is about to win, you want to tell me that social distancing will matter? You want to tell me that you won't enter houses in search of votes at night? You want to tell me that curfew will work? I'm not too sure. Especially when that temple, I'm not too sure. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that the electoral commission should call on, otherwise I was hearing news about any expressed by opposition. So we don't have to waste time with this when everyone has to be. If I'm not here, then what I'm speaking. We've got some common ground. So my main issue is let the electoral commission. Let's go through these views to them that they may choose the correct person. For example, I was hearing another from one presidential candidate who was saying there is now something called hyper. Have you heard about that? Yes, my main question, who's doing this? This electoral commission is you? I don't know. And you see, there is also, imagine after such deep silence, when somebody comes up and shocks you with a road. For all I have said, how many months have been? Just remove, listen, are you sure you're going to engage Uganda in December for election? After COVID, people shall have after COVID. Are you going to stop the lorries that are entering Uganda? Because these are supply lines for some people. Some of them is a life and death matter. Some of them is share the survival in business. Are you going to stop these lorries? Who has ever researched why these drivers and want to have problems? Is it where they sleep? Is it who they pass by when they are coming? Is it about the truck? Is it about the wind when they are driving? Is it about border where they sleep? Who has researched this? Or is it true that they sleep together when they are planning to do meeting? None of this research disappeared. So why are we here? Why are we here? Those are told their constitutional limitation, which was uncertainty. My main question is, how many times have we amended the constitution? So I won't say constitution serves us. What if there is every reason, to suspend some of the constitution? And the law is very clear before even go to suspension. Once this is an emergency, they tell you what to do. And then that's what for me I think we should rather spend time trying to do than just hashing us and rushing us in an election. So, gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to give you a roadmap, and even as I came here, I was speaking to another political group, my own circumstances. Afanga atambula amaguru gamugaya, for those of you who understand, you will never say you didn't do enough. So we are still talking, we are still talking. All this said and done, how much time? And when can all this be compiled in such a short time? I had the chairman of this parliament saying the Bubu, that is buy Uganda, no, build Uganda, buy Uganda, isn't it?
Buy Uganda.
Sorry?
Buy Uganda, build Uganda.
Okay, buy Uganda, build Uganda. Very much is also true. But the most important thing about green things here, I'm sure you know what happened. You know how many electoral commission was saying. Those of you who don't have documents from original known universities, please take them for, certification. You know what? Anyone can do it. So now, when I was in Kenya, somebody told me a story. People had migrated from the Moi side and joined the opposition. So there came a man with a whole truck with a coffee, and people were crying. This guy said, from Nairobi up to Naivasha, people are still crying so deeply. They said, no, 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 let's check what is here. What did they find there? Ballots. Because the crying was, when they got nearer to it, he amplified and cried. But then this guy said, this crying has a style. Why don't we check on this dead people? On lifting the coffin was too heavy. We are not about something. So we can go to the top was renew your notice. And this is my important statement. Let electoral commission find importance in the legitimacy and the credibility of the election. Legitimacy, credibility. Once this thing is to be, then you give excuses to very many. And we have a history with this country. I am of the that legitimacy is very fundamental. You know that every end of an election, you have a court case, and the rulings are very clear. The ruling is always saying, no, the election wasn't that, but it will not have West the result of the election. You know, that's a very interesting statement. Yes, things were not very correct, but it would not have influenced the results of the election. Mhm. So, I would want to take on some of your questions. I know you don't have a lot of time for one individual.